going great. Taking notes, so many notes. Actually not going great though. I'll be honest. Like, I don't even know. I could spend like literal hours going on about how it's not going great, but it actually is going great. That's a lie when I told you that. People keep asking me, "Oh my gosh, how's college? Like, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, classes are great, people are great, whatever." I'm a student athlete, which is cool. So I get to go and play golf. I'm a golfer. I get to go and play golf like every day after school, which is super nice and super fun because I love hitting things, and getting applauded for it. But but I just played. We did 3 rounds of golf every day. Well, 1 hour of golf every day for 3 days in a row. And then we also started doing like morning lifting sessions to improve our strength and resistance. I don't know. I support it though. I went and I enjoy it. I support it, but I'm so sore. My arms are so sore. I can't do a thing with my arms. Like my hands can hold the pencil and a pen. That's about it. And I can do anything else. But yeah, we played for the first time in my life, which is like maybe I should be admitting that. Like as a college golfer, I did back to back to back. And next week we're gonna do it back to back to back again, and we actually have a tournament, so that should be pretty fun. So yeah, golf is going great. I'm a biology major, so I'm reading these are biology notes. Actually my one bio class, my one science class this whole semester, and it's super interesting actually. Yesterday I learned about how gravity is not actually real. Like it's not actually like the Newton's law of like Isaac Newton's law of like gravitational something whatever is actually theory, normal law. I need to ask the professor about that though because like what do you mean gravity is a law in physics but only a theory in biology? I don't know. I guess it's just not important in biology. My roommate's pretty good. Everyone asks me about that too because they're like, "How's your roommate? You guys getting along? Are you like best friends? Is she awful?" I mean, before this, I spent my entire life with my siblings. Like first, it was my brother and me. He's a year older. And then it was my older brother, me, my younger brother. And then it was my older brother, me, my younger brother, my little sister. And then we split off, so we had like brother here, sister here, and so and then it evolved over time. I have 6 of them now, so I mean, there's someone in every room. But don't know. Before now, it's always been like my sister or my brothers, and I love my sister. She's my freaking best friend in the whole wide world. And I would come home after high school. I'd call me in high school, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I just got an amazing haul on golf." Or I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I freaking hate my life. I just want to go to sleep." Or "Oh my gosh, whatever." And I could just like tell her, and I'd be like, "Hey, bestie," and I would be seeing her every day, and we would like talk into the night. Mom would be like, "Go to sleep. You have to get up at 5 in the morning." And I'm like, "I know, but I haven't seen my best friend all day, and now I haven't seen my best friend in a whole week. Like that sucks. That's actually the worst in the world." And so, no hate to my roommate. She's pretty cool. She's pretty chill. But she's not my sister, which is, I'll be honest, it's pretty hard to beat. Um, I'm doing this video because I have this study plan. I read about like months ago, years ago. I think I read about it when I was like a junior in high school. But it's like study for 50 minutes. Do your homework 50 minutes, study whatever you need to do for 50 minutes. Focus. Okay, in those 50 minutes, get it done, okay? And then take a break. Take a 10-minute break, okay? And don't think about it. I read later that you should take a boring break because then you'll be like excited to come back to and do whatever you're studying. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, not that reading a textbook isn't super exciting, but literally anything else I'm doing is more exciting. Watering my plants is more exciting. Staring at the ceiling with you is more exciting. Yes, that was a Taylor Swift reference. Hope you got it. Hope it sounded absolutely insane right then. Anyway, after the 10-minute break, come back and you do 40 minutes of work. Because it's less time, so you don't have to focus for as long, which helps your brain like commit to it, and you still get your work done, right? And so then after those 40 minutes, take another break, 10 minutes. Great, right? Another boring break, which like I know I just said like no hate to reading a textbook, but everything else is exciting compared to it. But reading a textbook is actually pretty like legit. Like if you care about what you're reading about, it's not actually boring. Maybe I'm just like a nonfiction person. I mean, I literally read a biography of Eliza Hamilton for fun, and it was super amazing. Like if you guys ever like see this book, I'm gonna say it as I remember it. Okay, it goes out. Elizabeth Hamilton, the life and times of Alexander of the wife of Alexander Hamilton. I read it in large print, and I can. You show me a picture of that cover, I will know what it looks like. But I forgot what the full title was. I think that's it though. Anyway, I read that. I was reading that, and I was reading it at high school. And someone asked me, "Oh my gosh, are you reading it for like a class?" And I was like, "No, I'm reading for fun." And they're like, "You're reading Eliza Hamilton's biography for fun?" And I'm like, "Yes, 1000% I am. Like, be so for real." And it was actually really interesting to read the book. So like, I legitimately like it. Also, let me just like name other nonfiction books that I've read because these are really good. First of all, The Last Honest Man. I forgot his name, but he was a senator in Idaho, I think, and he was one of the first people to be like, "Hey, we shouldn't be." I think it was in the Vietnam War. Like, "Hey, we shouldn't be fighting in Vietnam. Like, this is stupid. This is actually so bad." And everyone was like, "Bro, you hate America, I guess, because you don't want us to be like, oh my gosh, we can do whatever we want." Um, and he led the investigation into the CIA. In fact, most of what we know about the CIA today is as a result of him. I think his name was Frank. Maybe Frank Williams. I don't know. But The Last Honest Man, go read it. Number two, a brief history of nearly everything. I cannot tell you one single thing I learned about that book, but I remember reading it, and it was about like the history of the world. Oh, there was one thing. It was like talking about how the universe was created, and it was like, oh my gosh, people are like how insanely like lucky it was for everything to align perfectly for our universe, because it like all of little like how close you have to be to the sun, but also how far you have to be from the sun, having like a moon so we have not seasons, having a moon so we can have tides. Not an idiot, I promise. At the tilt of the earth, which isn't like I don't know, anyway. And then like all of like the way like the bacteria and on the planet evolved into like the first like and on and on and on, like from bacteria to first forms of life to like the dinosaurs and everything. Like he's like how like people are always talking about how insanely like lucky it was for everything to line up just how it did, like just perfectly. But you never think about all the ways it went wrong, like it's I forget what he compared it to, but like if no one um remembered, like if no one remembered any of like the tours that Taylor Swift did before the Eras tour, right? People will be like, how did she get such an amazing tour? Like the first try, right? Um, like it was perfect. It was amazing. Everyone went to it. It was like it was the tour of the century, is what they call it or calling it. And it's like, that's insane. Like, how would you do that on like the first try? And the point is that it wasn't the first try. Like, she's done tours before, and they're all like very successful. Not like, no hate to Taylor Swift, just being like, first of all, I'm a Swiftie, love Taylor Swift so much. But like, he was talking about how no, like maybe things went wrong like a lot before then. Like, Midnight's was not her first album. That was her 10th album. Sorry, I had to think about that. Make sure it wasn't wrong. It was her 10th album. You know, like um I don't even. I'm trying to think of like things people would know. Um, it's I don't know. You know, like this life, this our planet. Um, it seems amazing that it all worked out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all like the way it worked just perfectly. But you'd never see all the ways it didn't work out perfectly. Like that's it was talking about that. Anyway, so a brief history of nearly everything. That's not a good one. Go read it. Um, my dad found this book. It's called "Who Ate the First Oyster," and I read it on audio, and now I have the hardcover, and I love it so much. No, not hardcover. It's not the paperback. Hard copy is what I meant. It's so good. It's like who told the first joke, who ate the first oyster. You know, like the first the firsts in history, quote unquote. That people will be like, why would you do that? You know, like think about like peanut butter and a peanut butter sandwich. Like, why would you put a peanut butter thing or whatever with a fruit thing or whatever? You know, like why would you do that? Like who would do the first thing? And he doesn't talk about the peanut butter stuff. I just made that up on the spot. But it's so like who ate the first oyster? Who invented inventing? Um, who told the first joke? And then he goes into like why, he talks about everything, and it's super cool. I love it so much. Go read it. Then another one that I really liked was How to Hide an Empire, and it's about how America is surprise an empire. You know, like people are like, oh yeah, empires aren't really a thing anymore. Like after the British Empire or whatever. Actually, after the Roman Empire, like things are like empires don't really work anymore. Um, and maybe you know you can count. Actually, you probably should count the British as empire. But even there, they're like, oh, they're not really empirical anymore, right? But America is very empirical. Like talks about like all the different things we do, like low key behind the scenes to be an empire, and like how we acquired Alaska and how we acquired Hawaii and how we acquired all our territories that everyone wants to forget about when they're learning about it in elementary school. And it talks about like different wars we've been through and like different actions people have taken that are kind of like we're an empire. Like we're and I think he ends by talking about how it's less about it's not even like necessarily about the United States because it's like the internet is like an empire. You know, who owns the internet? They own an empire. And how about like different like ideas and things that have like spread all over the world, like English. It's kind of an empire because English is like it's everywhere and it's in everything. And if you go to like any country ever, chances of someone speaking English there are kind of good, because just everyone knows English. Everyone's being taught it in schools, whether or not it's your first language or your 17th. I don't know. You should read it. I haven't read that in a while. I read it that was recommended to me by my English textbook, AP United States History. Yeah. So I'm a nerd. This is what I am basically. Anyway, my 10-minute break is over. But yeah, college is good. College is swell. Yeah, recommend it. 1 week in, 10 out of 10 would recommend.